All right, Dame Dash, how's it going?
Everything's everything. How's it going with you?
It's going good, man. I'm glad to have you on my show, man. You did a lot of historical stuff in hip hop ever since Rockefeller, man. And I just want to say it's dope to have you on my show.
Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that. Good to be here.
For sure, man. Well, I thought we would just start off with, the biggest news you had coming out, man, is the selling of Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt album that recently just happened. What's your general thoughts on how everything turned out with that situation?
Well, for me, that's definitely not the biggest thing that's happening. The biggest thing, pause, is that Honor Up is coming on BET. They're gonna show it on BET this Saturday, September 7th at 9 o'clock, and also that I'm approaching 100,000 or at 99,000. I'm waiting for the numbers now on my television network, America New. But I guess as it relates to that whole situation, for me, I was having issues with getting paid. I hadn't seen any money from Reasonable Doubt in like 15 years. And, I wasn't really pressing the issue, but it was like at a certain point, I know there's money there, and I felt like if I wasn't receiving it, somebody should. And, when I initially tried to sell it at auction years ago, I was stopped. There was a lawsuit brought against me by Rockefeller with Jay-Z saying that he was the CEO of Rockefeller. And, the Rock Nation lawyers started to represent Rockefeller on behalf of, I guess that team. And they accused me of trying to sell the whole album on the blockchain. And I was only selling my own rights, which I had every right to do. And, you know, uh, when they did that, it muddied the waters to where no one wanted to buy it because they knew it was toxic, that it would come with a lawsuit. And also, during the time we were having the lawsuit, I couldn't sell it. And at that time, they, did something that I considered illegal, but they changed bylaws to say that I couldn't sell it unless everyone agreed to it. I still don't understand it to this day. And then, of course, if I were to put it on the blockchain, you can't take it off the blockchain. It would be on the blockchain. I never did that. It was just a false accusation, and that really had me aggravated, just morally. And in order for me to straighten all that out, it would have been lawsuit after lawsuit. I would have had to been upset. I was already tight because it may have messed up a big sale in the NFT world. If people would have actually showed up, but at the end of the day, it would have cost me too much money to be paying lawyers to chase money I was never getting, and the money I wasn't getting wasn't actually a lot of money. And also to have to hear everybody's mouth, have to relive all this bullshit when I'm trying to move forward and do everything new. So, I had a lawsuit, a defamation lawsuit with people that I consider liars. They said they directed a movie that I directed, and then when I spoke about it on social media, I said some things that I guess I had to be accountable for, and they got a judgment. The same lawyer has taken me to court with at least 5 different people. I've been to 4 trials. I'm about to go through another one. And to me, collectively, with all the lawsuits that have been brought against me for defamation, it all added up to under $1 million. And I was like, yo, if y'all want to get that money, go over there and y'all do the work. And they did the work. But they did all this work. And at the end of the day, I already knew I owed taxes and that they would show up. So I'm like, hey, you better make sure it's going to be able to cover the tax. And the state showed up. And the state became, it was like child support, and then the state gets paid. And then the person that brought the lawsuits So that lawyer went on with the auction, and nobody showed up. So the state did what's called the credit buy. They bought it with the credit. So now instead of having me as a partner, they have the state, unless they probably buy it from the state. But I don't know that that's going to cover everything. But at the end of the day, the person that brought the lawsuit and the auction and paid for all that in the first place, they didn't make a dollar. So I don't know why they did it, but it did get my child support paid, and future earnings, some will go to my kids' colleges. So I looked at it like at least I could get some money out of it, or at least my kids will get some money out of it. But at the end of the day, I was like, really, it felt like nobody cared about it. I think that it's been perceived to be more valuable than, or it's perceived to be more valuable than it actually is. Based on the numbers, it doesn't make economic sense to buy it at a certain price. It only made sense to buy it if you looked at it as art. But I don't think anybody really looked at it as art enough to spend that kind of money on it. So it was a confusing situation for me, but I'm glad it's in my rear view and that I can focus on everything new.
Why weren't you getting any money from it? Were they not allowing anything to be sampled or anything from it? Or like...
Not sampled. I wasn't getting no checks. Yeah, I wasn't getting my distributions. I don't know why they didn't want me to sell it. I just didn't understand it, why they devalued it. It made it a little rougher when, their lawyer puts out a statement saying that, Jay will be getting his rights back in 6 months. Now, again, I don't own it no more, so I don't care, but that, to me, was not the truth. But the state started to investigate. And the reason why, like when I was offered $1.5 million to try to buy it from me, I didn't take it because I couldn't get a proper accounting. So in this moment, it ain't for me. I'm not trying to figure them out no more. I'm out of there. There's too many gray areas over there, bro. And my life is a lot easier without having to have, like, feeling like somebody's robbing me, or why they're not paying me, or why it says S. Carter instead of Rockefeller, why they're using, Rock Nation lawyers to represent Rockefeller and charging all the fees to Rockefeller Inc. I don't want to get involved in any of that, bro. I just really wanted to get away. And I've been trying to get away for the last 20 years. And at the temperature, the way the world is starting to roll out, I think it's justified that I wanted not to be around certain things and morals and principles. And I think I made the right decision.
Now, you said Drake reached out to you at one point?
Yeah, he DM'd me. And he's like, how much? I said, $6 million. He said, I got it. Let's work it out. And then he just went missing. I don't know what the purpose of that was. I'm curious myself. For me, I always think, because a lot of people would reach out and then they would disappear, and I just always think there was some monkey business pause happening behind the scenes. But again, I don't feel like dealing with all of that. Like, it's too weird for me. It's not, I'm a regular dude. I don't want to be involved in any of this weird shit, any of these conspiracies, any of these gray areas. I just rather just be creative and do it on my own and pay for it myself. Freedom is priceless to me, and I won't compromise any of my integrity or any of my moral fabric to get someplace faster, and especially for somebody else, another culture, or for someone that's not creative or that doesn't care about a creative. I'm not going to ever help exploit a creative. I don't care how much money is on the table, and I've never done that. My record and my algorithm is to teach the artist that I work with to be able to move around as a brand and as a boss without me, so that I can go do my own thing.
What's up? This is Cam Capone. We got more content like this coming soon, so hit that like button, subscribe, and stay locked in to Cam Capone News.